as well. If you're looking to get tickets to a Guardians game, a Browns game, or the NBA Finals, if you decide you want to get crazy and fly to wherever the series is being played, there's no better place to buy tickets online than Game Time. Game Time's an authorized ticket marketplace for the NBA, which makes getting playoff tickets even faster and easier, and prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. They have flash deals, zone deals, all-in pricing. You can see your view from their seat. And their Game Time lowest price guarantee gives you a 110% credit. If you can find a cheaper ticket on the market, they'll credit you the difference of that. So take all the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
I had friends that used this for tickets over the weekend, Guardians. Loved it. Didn't know about it until our show.
Are we going to see Lindor?
I'm going Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm doing a story over there Wednesday, so obviously we're going to
talk
talk about Frankie's return to Progressive Field.
I put the text into you for you, Earl, by the
way. Hey, Mike. Yep. Remember the tweet I had about the Knicks snatching our chain?
Uh-huh.
The Pacers snatched theirs.
Yeah, they did.
The Pacers are still playing. The Cavs are not.
Yeah, they
and
did.
Hindsight is 20/20. But in an alternate universe where the Cavs decided to beat the Hornets in the regular season finale, which would have gave them the 3 or the 2 seed, it would have ended up at the 3 because New York also won on the last day of the regular season. The Cavs would have played Milwaukee in the first round, New York in the second round. And if that was the case, J.G. Earl, would the Cavs be in the Eastern Conference Finals right now? Did their strategy backfire? Or no?
Hell no. They could have switched that up and played St. Anne's and they wasn't going to no finals.
Can I attack this from a different angle and hand it off to you all?
Sure.
Because it's so funny. Me and Mike was at that game, covering that last game of the season. And the thing that stands out to me the most is Max Strus' body language and demeanor in the locker room after that game.
Yep.
Like, last game of the season, playoffs was already in the bag. But that dude was highly, highly pissed off.
So now we know Donovan was too.
Highly pissed off at the fact that the Cavs blew that lead late and lost that game.
Intentionally.
And I got to take some accountability. I came on here this at the very next day and made it seem like it was no big deal. I didn't hold them accountable for it. I kind of looked at it like end of the season, last game of the year, whatever happens, happens. And I think in the post-game press conference, J.B. Bickerstaff alluded to that before the game even started, he had a plan to only play the main guys 3 quarters. And even when the game got tight in the fourth, his reasoning for not putting those guys back into the game was, in a nutshell, he had already prepared them mentally to only play 3 quarters.
He was tanking that game.
And they was cooled off, and he didn't want to bring them back in.
He wasn't about to bring them back in.
The point I'm making is, if that is not another indictment against J.B. Bickerstaff, I don't know what is.
So you're saying that it wouldn't have mattered?
Hell no! Like,
you didn't like the decision to lose it on purpose.
No, I mean,
as I remember.
As I looked at the game, I'm like, y'all trying to pick Orlando like y'all better than Orlando like that. Like, to me, it was ridiculous. It's like, okay, you trying to pick somebody out. Like, that's like, make this analogy. It's like a guard that can't dribble, can't pass, and is garbage trying to call somebody out to get a switch on a pick and roll. What? No, like, so we'll switch it and lock you up. Like the Cavs, to me, this is very minute stuff. Like, when I watch these other teams, and I watch every single game, and I'm watching all these playoff games, if you are a basketball fan and you know the game, you readily understand that these guys are playing at a different level than your team is, right?
Sure.
So when you see that from game to game, people may be excited because you won a series against Orlando, but you as a basketball person know, like, if they was playing Indiana, nah. The way that the Knicks was playing against Indiana, that was a crazy series. The way, even go back and look at the way the Dallas Mavericks was playing with with OKC. Go back and watch the way that Minnesota was playing Denver. That is 2 different brands and styles of basketball, and you know Yeah, y'all want to tank and get the Magic. Y'all not going nowhere in the East anyway. So if you want to take them, they would have lost the first round against Milwaukee. They wouldn't have beat Milwaukee.
So I think going back to the decision to throw that game is a microcosm of everything that's wrong with this organization. I think it confirms what Donovan Mitchell said about this organization. It is a loser's mentality to lose a game on purpose. I don't care what anybody says. The reason Max Strus was pissed, we need 15 guys like that. He's a pro.
We got 3.
We do. He's paid to go out there and win basketball games. Don't look down the road. Don't try to make a favorable playoff first-round matchup. You go out to win every single game. If you don't, you have a loser's mentality. And when Donovan watched his coach tank a game to get a favorable first-round matchup so he could say at this point of the year, well, at least we won one series.
That's what he's doing.
That is a loser's mentality. And that will get you the participation award and nothing else. And Donovan's not here for that. No. Donovan's here to win. So as I look back at all of this, I think that, and I know it was an organizational decision, and maybe it was Kobe also was pushing it that way. Hey, man, we're thinking resume right now.
Yeah.
We're thinking we need a playoff win. Both of them.
Both of them.
And Donovan's like, I don't give a rat's ass about your resume or anybody's resume. I want to win this thing. Now, there's a million ways that it could have played out. They could have lost in the first round. They could have won that game, got the 3 seed, and lost in the first round. Possible. But let me ask you guys this question, and Mikey, you too. I'm going to give you 4 opponents, and you tell me who you would most like to see in the second round. Indy, New York, Philly, Boston.
Indy.
What's the last team you want to see in the second round?
Boston.
Thank you. G, you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, their crown's on their head. They're the team to beat. They were the one last year. They got dinked. They were the one this year, and here they are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, it still wouldn't have made it a great season if they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost 4-1. But it would have felt a hell of a lot different because you controlled your own destiny and you went out there and you busted your ass to win regardless of seeding. When you start manipulating and, we'll take you, that's why I think Orlando took them to 7 games.
Go ahead and I'll make my point.
Yeah, but as Jay is talking, man, and I'm thinking, man, bad job out of me for that take the very next day.
I was stunned when you came in.
Because true story is, I think sometimes the fan in me dies a little bit when I'm trying to be professional. But, like, when you were talking, I was thinking about, like, man, I know how much it costs to go to a game. Where you consider parking, getting there, buying food, and then you just want to enjoy the experience. Like, the Cavs had an opportunity to win a division title without LeBron James a part of this team. That's an award to your fans for being faithful, right?
Sure.
They come out here in the last game of the year when you're not seeing Donovan Mitchell, you're not seeing Darius Garland, you're not seeing none of the marquee players that you typically are going to see, and you still paying the same price for those tickets. They showed up anyway.
And you know what?
And they looked like they were going to be awarded with a season-ending victory, and because of their own propaganda or agenda that they had within the organization, the fans was robbed of something that they really rightfully earned.
And Earl, and I'll let you go, G, there were people in that arena that was the only game they could afford to go to all year. That was their one Cavs night out.
Yeah.
Season ending, should be a win against a bad team. Let's go to that one. We could probably get tickets pretty cheap for that one.
Right.
And their experience was ruined because they were trying to play manipulation with the playoff seeding. Go out and win.
It worked. I'm going to tell you, it worked. Their plan to, get a game or get a series where they can win, it worked on the segment of the population that they need for backing. And what I mean by that is when you go out and you say, and you plant the seeds of, well, hey guys, look what we've done. We signed Darius Garland. He had a bad year. He'll bounce back. Hey, guys, we got Donovan for one more year. We have some assets. We have a first-round pick this year. Hey, guys, look, we won a tough series against Orlando. We were progressing. And look at this. We played hard against Boston, 4-1, but look at all the guys we had out. We played hard. You guys even said we played hard. And look, hey, we didn't have Jared Allen, and we didn't have he didn't play, so, Donovan's knee. And so what that does, that propaganda reaches the certain part of your market, certain part of your fandom that hates change and always wants to be conservative in a way. Hey, we won 51 games,
That
Jay.
means nothing, though.
Hey, but you and I know that, right?
Yeah, and I do feel sorry for that section of the
That
fan base that you
segment-
talk about. Because you're right. There is a section of the fan base that will say, hey, we made it to the second round. And if the Celtics go on to win it all, you know what they'll say?
We lost
We
to
lost
the
to
we lost to
NBA
the eventual
champions.
champs. We could be a few dribbles away.
But those,
And we've had to play without Donovan Mitchell for the last
but
few games.
those people have never been in them trenches when you running at 6 a.m. and you lifting them weights and you battling.
You
through
don't do that to
injuries.
finish second.
You don't. No, you guys can say that, but when these dudes is putting it on the line, you got a very finite amount of time to be great in this lifetime, right? Certain people won't pay the price to be great. Most times, that price is heavier than you ever will know. So no, they're not going to stand for that. That they don't get that part. But they did a really nice job. They did. Listen, you know, the Jedi mind tricks are nice because what they do is they get you to a point where you say you second guess yourself. Well, am I being too over the top? Am I being too aggressive here? Maybe we're not thinking about it the right way, Earl. Maybe we just need to give it a little bit of time. And no, time don't work. Who you got going to be better than Jokic? Nobody.
I had somebody call in yesterday and felt like I was being too hard on the Cavaliers organization and that I needed to be more patient and see this thing all the way through.
See, that's part of that fan
And
base.
I think it is part of that fan base. But I guess my counter argument to that fan base is shame on you because all of us sitting here know what it feels like to be called NBA champions. And I get it. That was part of the LeBron James era. But as a fan, when you know what championships feel like, when you know what it feels like to be called champion, how can you settle on Kobe telling you we won 51 games and you supposed to be cool with that? No. The year that we lost to Orlando in the Eastern Conference Finals, didn't we win like 65 games that year?
66.
So it's like
I know.
Like
There's not an award for the regular
You want me
season.
to jump up and down about 51 games, and then one more thing before we move on. You know, you keep alluding to the fact that Donovan Mitchell possibly is perceiving a lot of people on this team as being okay with just getting out the first round. And I think that if there are people inside this organization that feel like that, then I think all those people need to go because it doesn't take much to look up at when you're at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and see a championship banner hanging.
No,
right?
it's easy.
And if you can look up and see that and you're still not motivated to be better than a first round exit team or a second round exit team, then all those dudes need to go.
One question before we put this issue to bed, because we're going to talk to Deshaun Watson next. Mike, I really want your thoughts on this. The Indiana Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals. I know they've got some nice pieces on their roster. Does anybody here think that, would you trade the Pacers roster for the Cavs roster right now?
No.
Because I would not, and I don't have to think twice about it.
I would trade coaches.
Well, now that's a different story. That's a different story.
Give me him. Give me. I just need a guy. I
love Carlisle's post-game conference comments.
No
too.
disrespect, but I can watch the games and tell JB's not running anything.
Yeah.
He just don't have it. I'm sorry, he just don't have it. I mean, good guy, but there comes a point in time when the rubber hits the road, and you're gonna need a tactician. You're gonna need somebody that is a great general and a great guy that can motivate your players and not. And that article was dead on when he said they didn't like the fact that he was treating this team as a young team with a bunch to learn instead of a team that's ready to compete today.
Well, again, the Pacers today are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They are 4 wins away from the NBA Finals, and I would not take their roster over ours.
Man, it's got like a whole Larry Bird written all over it.
Doesn't
man.
it? Celtics and Pacers.
It got the whole Larry Bird feel to it.
I think he'll be courtside for all 7.
I'm pretty sure he will be.
But, in terms of, my expectations of the series, I don't think we're going to get a good series. I think the Celtics are going to cakewalk.
I think it's going to be a tougher series than what people think for the same reason I told you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, damn good player, man. I just don't think
he hasn't won it. He
ain't got that dog
He
in
did
him.
show some fire to me, though, in Game 6. There was something going on in those eyes where he was like,
but the thing is, man, Rick Carlisle he's one hell of a coach.
They shot that. If the Patriots shoot like they did, I ain't never seen nobody shoot the lights out of a gym like
Pacers
that.
are wonky. They play fast.
Well,
they chuck threes.
That was an NBA record. It took
they were
an
incredible
NBA record
yesterday.
67% shooting from the floor for them to get to the NBA or the Eastern Conference Finals.
Halliburton with his 2-hand jump shot.
It also took a key injury to the Knicks in the third quarter.
Couple of them.
Yeah, a couple of them. So.
Yeah.
We